Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to quickly show you how to export your models as STL files for 3D printing. There's a lot of ways of taking models that are designed in CAD software like Fusion 360 or SolidWorks and making them into file types that can be put through slicing programs for 3D printers or other machining tools, whether they're laser cutters or machining machine things with drill bits and things like that. And so one of the most common ways is to create a STL file, which is essentially a file that contains all the vertices and edge information necessary to create a model with the shape of the 3D object. Beyond that, things are hidden. So details that Fusion might have in their data kind of goes away. It's purely about the geometric data, which is all the software that is used for 3D printers really needs. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that, and that way for any future projects, if you ever want to export things for 3D printing to test your prototypes, you can do that easily. So I'm going to go to the data panel on the top left. That's those 9 squares, and you should see your different projects. If you don't remember, you can always click the home button, and it'll show you various projects that you may have pinned or created for you or have created in the past. And so mine right now is the T3 CAD folder. I have some of my files. You open up your design, whatever one it's going to be. And once you do this, you can always hide your data panel and get yourself some more space. Recognize that that bodies folder, if you open it up, contains all the different bodies that exist for your model. You can see I have 4 of them. I've named them, and you can always refer to them as you need to. They might just say body 1 or body 11 or whatever they happen to be called. And you can see them highlight as you hover over them, right? But the point is, each of them is a distinct piece. It's important to note, if you try to select multiple items at the same time to export, they will be kind of connected to each other, even if they're not physically touching. You should not do that for 3D printing purposes. Every item should be individually selected, and we'll see that in a moment, how to make that happen. So once you know what you want to actually select, the File menu, which looks like a piece of paper here, if you hover over it, does say File. You click on it. Near the bottom, 5th from the bottom, is the 3D print option, and you can see it says convert selected body to a mesh that outputs an STL for a 3D printing utility. So I'm going to select 3D print. There's a bunch of options. We're really not going to touch anything. The only thing we're going to do is to turn off this checkbox that says send to 3D print utility. I don't have a 3D printer connected directly to the computer that I'm on, and generally speaking, when we're on laptops, that's not the case. Our 3D printers at Holton are not connected to the network directly, so the idea is that you're going to have to create the files and put them on the USB or SD cards manually. We're not going to send them to the internet. So I'm going to uncheck this. And then you can see that in the selection it is blue, so it says pick something to select, something that's going to be exported. And I can actually hover over the items individually, or I can select them from the actual list, and it's the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and select one of these. I'll select the main body. You can see it turns blue. The letters are still gray, the drawer is still gray, and that's fine. It says one item is selected. You can see that there. I'm going to click OK. It's going to ask you for a name. It's going to tell you this type of file you're going to be saving at. I'm not going to change it from an STL. It'll show you when it saves to your computer that by default it gives you some things. So in my case, it shows me some desktop location. You can always change this. Yours might show you your downloads folder. Just note where that is, wherever that is on your computer, and you can always get to that file after the fact. And so when I'm naming it, so the idea, again, I ask for our projects, put your name in some form, hopefully your first name or your last name or both, and then whatever it is. So my thing is called board, so I might call this Joseph-board or Joseph tic-tac-toe board or whatever it might be. The idea is going to be that so that when someone else has the file, they know what they're actually selecting. When I 3D print things for students, then I know what they happen to be, right? So I can just do something like that. So I'll put Joseph board. And again, it's not important exactly. As long as there's a name on it, that's more than important. Once it's saved to this location, you can always upload your files to the Canvas webpage for our class, and those are individual STL files. You can put them all in one folder and zip it up if that's easy, or if you just want to attach all the individual STL files, and that's perfectly okay too. So it's really that easy, and you would do it for each one. So now I did that for the body. If I selected the drawer, I could do the same thing. So I'm going to go to the File menu. I could do 3D print. Notice the checkbox is off already this time. If it's on again for whatever reason, you can simply turn it off again. So I can select the drawer this time and click OK, and I'll say something like Joseph drawer. And again, it's not super important, just something that's clear that has your name so that we know what the items are. And I'll do this for the rest of them and so on, right? So this hopefully makes it easy for you to make your files for future projects into STLs that can be set up for printing on different 3D printers in the future. I'll see you in another video.